Good afternoon, YouTube. I thought we could watch my puppies some more while I talk, because nobody wants to see my ugly mug. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that Rosanne had said when she was interviewing An0moly. I follow both of them. I highly encourage everybody to check them out. They have some good ideas. But when they were talking about President Trump not being a Republican, and that struck me because I've always been a Republican. My dad was a Republican. Not so devout that he couldn't see the flaws in all Republicans. I mean, we were both disappointed by the Bushes in some ways. I was about 6 when President Reagan was elected the first time. And, my dad was very excited about President Reagan. But the thing about it is that President Reagan wasn't a Republican. He was a Democrat. And Republicans weren't Republicans. The Republican Party did not come into existence until like the 1850s, I think it was. Before that, there were Democrats and there were Whigs, like W-H-I-G, Whigs. And the Whig Party split, and those that, supported the abolition of slavery became the Republican Party. And then the Republican Party started absorbing Democrats who didn't want to go crazy with the rest of the Democrats. And pretty much every shenanigan or, genocide or whatever you want to lay at the feet of Americans is the result of Democrat schemes. The Trail of Tears, the war with Mexico, the Civil War, the post-Civil War Reconstruction era, the Jim Crow laws, the New Deal, the New Society, LBJ, all of it can be laid at the Democrat feet, not Republican. We need to shed this burden of guilt that they make us all carry, because not all Americans deserve that burden of guilt. There are plenty of Americans who put everything on the line to stop the Democrats, to stop the spread of slavery, to demand not only that it not be spread anymore, that it be wiped out of existence immediately. And 600,000 men didn't come home from that war. And if that isn't payment, if that isn't putting your life and everything that you hold dear on the line for a race of people that, my ancestors that came from Indiana and Ohio probably never laid eyes on a black person, it's inconceivable to me how people have forgotten their history, and that how we all have to share in this guilt of what horrible Americans did throughout time. And to me, it's always been Democrat schemes and everybody else in the country banding together to try and stop them from doing more crazy stuff. And that's what this whole, Mueller investigation and all of this, it's like, if you would just leave us alone and let us get down to business. And that's what, to me, a true Republican or conservative party or whatever you want to call it, it's not about who you're married to or what you do in your bedroom or anything like that. You recognize the sanctity of human life, and then you get to work on achieving whatever goals it is that you have for yourself, and the government should stay out of your way. And that's, to me, what the Republican Party has always been, and it's been hijacked and it's been corrupted. But at its ethos, it's always been a party of freedom, of free will, of limited government intervention in individual lives, protecting the sanctity of human life. And all of our brothers and sisters here in America. If you're here legally, I don't care if you've been here for 10 minutes or 10 years. If you came here the right way, you're an American. And you're my brother or you're my sister. And I don't care what color you are. I don't care who you want to marry or whatever. just as long as you don't bother me while I'm trying to, be a good Christian. I'm not going to get in your way if you're trying to be a good gay person or whatever it is you're trying to do. We can all coexist. But, they're right. Mr. Trump wasn't a Republican. Mr. Lincoln wasn't a Republican. Mr. Reagan wasn't a Republican. I don't think the Bushes were ever really Republicans. Now that I'm older and I have more perspective, I think that they were, convenient. They were placed there to run on the conservative side, but they definitely, betrayed us in a lot of ways, especially on that southern border. I'm really disappointed. Anyways, so, no Republicans were Republicans until there had to be Republicans to stand up to Democrat shenanigans. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.